For food systems transformation, we need to shift our methods of production so that instead of reducing biodiversity, we're building it back. Instead of reducing water quality, we're building it back. Instead of emitting GHG emissions, we are sequestering GHGs, and then there's a way forward on that, and it's regenerative agroecological productions. What I'm really excited to see are the many, many partners coming together, not only at this UNFSS +2, but on the road to COP28, the road to COP30 and beyond, to activate and really accelerate the shift to regenerative agroecological production so that we have biophysical and sociocultural contributions to the regenerative, nourishing, equitable food system that we're all here for. The barriers to shifting to regenerative and agroecology are many, but we have reason to believe with the models that exist and the local players that are already making this shift happen that they are tackleable. But that list includes: one, we don't have enough financing. Currently, very little agricultural R&D support or subsidy support goes to agroecological and regenerative systems as opposed to holding in place our conventional industrialized food system. So one, we need financing. We need to unlock private sector financing, philanthropic capital, government support, but as well, we need to look at our subsidies and really think about repurposing those subsidies in a way that support and accelerate this movement. Second, regenerative and agroecological approaches are really knowledge intensive. We need to really reimagine what our technical training, our capacity building, our model farming configurations, what those can look like to enable the knowledge that's specific to context to diffuse and transmit to all those farmers and landscape stewards that are part of this. Third, data and evidence. We really need to build the data and evidence underpinning regenerative and agroecological approaches. There's so many types of knowledge here, and also we need to get more science that answers the questions of what particular practice in what particular foodscape get us the most biodiversity, social equity and inclusion, production and yield, GHG sequestration. So there's some really important research questions that I think together we can answer going forward. The big three numbers that make it undeniable that food and climate and nature are really part of one agenda. We've got the 1/3 greenhouse gas emissions coming from our food system, 86% rather, of species loss. Those species on the brink of extinction will be driven there by the food system. And then water, 75% of water use is used for agriculture. So through that prism, there is no way to restore nature, let alone hold up the ideal of a 1.5 degree warmer world if we don't fuse the food and the climate agendas. And so that's why we think regenerative and agroecological approaches are so promising, because you're able to see shifts in biodiversity and water and climate and sociocultural and income effects moving together. And that's really the kind of suite of interconnected transformational food systems levers that we're all looking for. So I think there's a lot to explore and support in building the evidence, the financing, and the policy enabling environment to enable regenerative production systems.